keeping up with the motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with the remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students! Words have the power to change even the fate of a country. Rightly said by Mark Twain, a powerful agent is the right word. Whenever we come upon one of those intensely right words, the resulting effect is physical as well as spiritual and electrically prompt. The pen is definitely mightier than the sword. TVM welcomes all the students of class 10 for this writing skills session. Today, we are going to learn the art of speech writing through using the right words. Speech is the expression or the ability to express thoughts and feelings by articulate sounds. Speech writing is the craft or activity of writing speeches, an art of conveying a message to your audience in order to inform, persuade, or explain. Objectives: to express and convey opinions, views, knowledge, and thoughts, and to enhance oratory, that is, speaking skills. Format of speech: title is the first thing that has to be written in 3 to 4 words in the form of a phrase. You have to underline the title with a simple and a straight strike of a pencil, and the place of title is at the top center of the page. Salutation or greeting, that is the first paragraph of the speech, or the starting, you can say, paragraph of the speech. You have to start the first paragraph with wishing the audience in descending order, that you have to start with the most important dignitary or person present, and then gradually you have to come to the least. Then comes the self introduction, and you have to introduce yourself with the term XYZ or ABC, that you don't have to write your real name. And then the disclosure of the topic, that you have to disclose the topic or you have to state the topic for speech. Body, that is the second paragraph, and it can further be divided into 2 to 3 paragraphs depending upon the points. You already know, students, that only when there is a shift in idea or point, that is when you have to change the paragraph, otherwise no. Body of speech includes narration of facts, presentation of data, relevant examples, rhetoric questions, or thought provoking views, statements, etc. Conclusion is the last paragraph of speech, and it includes reaffirmation of the points presented in the body of the speech. That is, you are going to state the same point that you presented as the powerful point in your body, that is, body of the speech. And it has to be followed by thank you or Jai Hind, or like any such term according to the topic. Now we'll start one by one with introductory paragraph, that is the first paragraph of the speech, also known as the foundation of the speech. And here your aim should be to greet the audience and tell them who you are, that is self introduction, and what you are talking about, that is introduction of the topic. So this is the order of the introductory paragraph: greeting the audience, self introduction, and the introduction of the topic. You should always begin writing your speech in a way that is catchy. You can use quotation, phrases. For that, you need to be well read, and that is very important to master any language. Make use of first a rhetorical question. That is how uh, you can write a catchy introductory paragraph after the introduction. A rhetorical question, that is, I am here, for example, I am here to talk to you about what ordinary people can do to fight against climate change. Why? Because we are running out of time to act. A rhetorical question is asked for or used for effect, and it does not aim for answer. You can also make use of a surprising statement. Surprise is a powerful tool in any speech. It makes your audience sit up and pay attention. That is, in order to grab the attention of the audience. Or you can make use of a famous quote, and it will demonstrate your creativity and flair for the language and also for the topic. Main body is the second paragraph of the speech. The main body of the speech is where you keep your points, facts, or make arguments. The language should be formal with the tone serious. A serious tone does not mean that you cannot make use of wit. You absolutely can, but then you have to see that you stick to the topic and the language should be formal. Take care of grammatical structures. Very important. There should be appropriate sequence and flow of language. That whatever you write, whatever points you make use of, see that it should be in a flow that makes sense and not abrupt or anyhow presented. Express your opinion in a persuasive and engaging way. That whatever your opinion is, it should be engaging and also convincing. Write in conversational tone as you are addressing an audience, and that is why it is very important that you make use of conversational tone so that your speech sounds like you are actually interacting with a group of people sitting in front of you as audience. When writing your speech, always ensure that you write using the first person. This means use I, the pronoun I, as you write. You should also address your audience directly as if you were actually talking to them. And for that, you can make use of other pronouns, we and you, in your writing. Example, I am sure you'd all agree that, or as a community, we need to do this or that. Use personal details and anecdotes according to the topic. That is up to you and also up to the topic. Not necessary that every time you use your personal details and incidents from your life. And when you make use of, you see that whatever anecdotes or details you are using is relatable. Make use of rhetorical questions, but see that you don't use too many. Include emotive language, that is, emotional language in your speech. Things should not simply be described just as good or bad. You can use of emotive language. You can use fantastic or horrible, pure, corrupted, exciting, disappointing, etc. Try to use figurative language. That is, you already know various figures of speech, the speech that are used in the poems. Uh, And same you can make use of in your speech as figurative language. Repetition for key phrases in your introduction and conclusion. You can repeat a phrase as anaphora figure of speech every time in every paragraph. You can repeat that one phrase, and that can bring you can make use of the phrase in the introduction and also in the conclusion, and that can bring your speech to full circle. For instance, if you started your speech by saying, "The pen is mightier than the sword," you can repeat the phrase in the conclusion to your speech. Use contrast. For example, you could describe one person as fiery and passionate and another as cold hearted. So that is you can this is how you can play with words and make use of vocabulary, and that is to grab attention of the audience and also in order to convince. Include the given points, news items, terms, etc. in the question as guidelines. If any points or phrase or terms or news, piece of news, uh, pieces of news or piece of news are mentioned in the question and you are asked to include, to make use of those things, you have to cover every given points or terms, and that is mandatory. When writing a speech in an English exam, always stay focused on the topic you have been asked to write about. Don't deviate from the topic. Stick to the given topic. Never derail from the subject of the speech you are writing. The following acronym might help you remember some of the points we have discussed and help you score highly. That is for the body of the speech. The first is letter P, personal anecdotes to bring your speech to life. E, emotive language to persuade your audience. R, rhetorical questions to make your audience listen. F, figurative language such as metaphors and similes. P, emphasis through repetition. C, comparison and contrast to make your points clear. And T, that is tone of voice, that is relevant and persuasive for your specific audience. And that makes the word perfect. And then comes the conclusion, the last paragraph of the speech. It has been said that people only remember the beginning and the end of speeches. So, conclusion is very important. That is, summarize the main speech topics or main points in the conclusion. Repeat a few keywords or phrases that you have made use of in the body of the speech. State how your points prove your general and specific goal. Restate and reinforce the central idea of your speech. Very important, and that is the last thing, to thank the audience. So these are the points you have to cover in the conclusion or the last paragraph of your speech. This is one model speech. Question: prepare a speech on the topic India of my dreams to be delivered in your school. Include the following points in the speech. Read the question carefully, students. Whenever you are given a question, whichever topic, reading the question and understanding is half the work done. So you have to deliver this speech in your school, and that is how the first paragraph becomes really important. Okay, what you are going to, who you are going to mention or address in the first paragraph, in the introductory paragraph, as you have to deliver your speech in the school. So these points you are asked to include in your speech: education, science, spirituality, nature, religion, cleanliness, farmers, peace, and prosperity. Title: India of My Dreams. Top center of the page and underlined with initials capital except from the prepositions and articles. You are not supposed to write prepositions and articles in capital when you're writing title. The first paragraph, an anecdote and also quotation, and as you have to write it for your school, so it has started with an address to the principal and then teachers and finally your fellow mates. And then the introduction, self introduction, and the introduction of the topic. The second paragraph, that is the first paragraph of the body, and see the phrase which is repeated in order to have an effect. The second paragraph of the body with a rhetoric question, and this is the conclusion paragraph, and that ends with thank you. You can take a screenshot of this slide, that is the model speech, and note down in your writing skills notebook. India of my dreams. Practice question for you all. Students, this question, when you write, you take help from this topic learned, that is the format and layout of speech writing that all you have learned through this video, and also the model speech. And you're all going to write in your writing skills notebook the speech question. Prepare a speech to be delivered for state level elocution competition. The subject given is Fit India, Successful India. Use the following points in your speech: live healthy, practice yoga, meditation and exercise, balanced diet, and stress management. You can again take the screenshot or you can write the question in your notebook. Think before you speak. Very important for all of us. Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel. It is to bring another out of his bad sense into your good sense. Thank you.